Vlad Popovici. I'm a partner and co-founder of Kubis. Kubis is a full communication agency based in Bucharest, Romania, and since 15 years ago is being awarded for innovation, efficiency, and creativity. We really do believe in this wonderful construction, and in my opinion, the beauty of Community for Europe is that we blend our local DNA with the European spirit, mixing various cultures and local insights, bringing in very talented people from different locations. All this in order for us to build global campaigns for EU citizens. Yeah, probably, if I may say, it's one of the hottest topics in town at the moment. And AI is disrupting a lot of industries, but the communication is one of the most important ones. I believe that the democratization of ChatGPT and generative AI tools, these happened last year, really changed the world and humankind. Actually, if I compare it with one key moment in our history in the past, I can say it has the same effect of the year 2007 when the first iPhone was launched, because that was the transition from Web 1.0, a read-only Web 1.0, to a co-creation Web 2.0. So AI and ChatGPTs and all these tools have the right meaningful impact to switch us from Web 2.0 to Web 3.0. Let's begin by addressing basically the elephant in the room. AI is not here to take our jobs or to fire us, but in my opinion, I believe that it's here to promote us. This is because while using AI, everybody will be their enhanced versions. And I think that this would really change the way we work and how humanity will evolve. And I will approach this from two angles. AI from an agency perspective and AI from a marketer or client perspective. So for the agencies, I believe that the current business model of selling hours is broken. In some cases, internal inefficiencies make the process heavy and expensive, and at the end of the day, the client really pays for that. And as a general rule of thumb, I do believe that each agency complex internal processes are often very complex and characterized by a lot of interdependencies and excessive meta work, which is basically work about work. So what today will take a week to be completed, with AI, it will take probably a day or less. This will allow many agencies to cut down their inefficiencies and basically focus on what really matters and brings impact, which is the creative idea. So we are talking here mainly about generative AI tools where people all around the world that have access to a basic computer and internet can generate their own images, scripts, storyboards, videos, music, and so on. The basic rule is to know how to operate with the AI, meaning that there are a lot of trainings on how to correctly ask the AI what you need. And that's the beauty of it, because right now there is the job which is called prompt engineering, which will be in the future something that a lot of us will embrace. Now, all of these tools can be used for clients' presentations, storyboards, mood boards. They can actually automate a lot of the tedious work that researchers in an agency would have been doing, or social media managers would have been taking probably days to create social media content calendars and so on. So everything will be compacted in a very efficient process with a very qualitative output. So having said that, I do believe that in the future, I will see the agencies worrying not too much about the people structure or the skills, but more about what tech stack should I use, which is very important. Now, for the client side or the marketer side, the first thing that they should do is actually take the time to explore all of these AI tools, because there's a lot of hype in the press that this AI tool is doing this or doing that. But at the end of the day, everybody must try it and understand what are the limitations of that tool and what they can actually produce with it. Also, getting familiar with these tools will make them more knowledgeable, because when they will work with agencies, they will be able to know what to ask from an agency, or maybe they will know when an agency lies to them, depending on the process or the speed of doing something. The second thing, which I think is the most important one, is that each marketer should establish a certain tech stack within his company, because every day probably tens of these applications are emerging, but if you chase everything, you'll not learn anything. So stick to a couple of the tools that you start to master, use them properly, and then you'll see some very nice results. So in the company's case, the marketers or the internal teams will be able to make a lot of automations for their go-to-market strategies, or how they can target different audiences, or how they can personalize exact message for a particular user, which was impossible couple of years ago, and they will be able to do it at scale and in an instant, which I think it's revolutionizing the way everybody interacts with marketing. Now, just as a wrap up, I do believe that AI is here to stay in our lives and basically to make our lives easier and our jobs easier if we use it wisely. That's one. And then at the end, I want to say, and I want to leave you all with this food of thought. I really do appreciate all the excitement around the AI, but I think that there's still a very principal problem at the end of the day. Who owns the IP of these creations? It's the machine, it's the AI, it's the one who uses the prompt, and this hasn't been yet regulated, and it's still to be seen. Also, if you take into consideration how large language models were trained, they were basically trained on public available data. So that data wasn't theirs to be trained at all. So it's a very interesting problem to have, and there are a lot of discussions about how to regulate this in the future. But this only makes things even more exciting for the future. Thank you.